is, you can say it's like one of the Bollywood story, I came from a very small village. When I was growing up, there was nothing. There's no internet, there's no TV, no nothing. I'm like, imagine 50 years ago, and they're in a village somewhere. I never thought I'll become a designer, Being from Northeast, I think I feel the struggle a little bit harder than the other people.
Okay.
Because you have a language barrier, we have a look barrier, Like suppose I'm going to buy a fabric, they'll charge me more and they'll charge my friend less, those kind of things.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's very irritating, right? I mean, fashion is not very easy, and especially when you're not from Delhi, when you have to manage your house, your office, it's just not easy. Sometimes it can be quite difficult because you don't have a family support, It's you on your own. You're on your own. I mean, 2015, I shut down everything. I give up my house, give up my factory, everything, and I went back home actually. So this 1 year I realized, I love making clothes. I love clothes. I don't think I can do anything else besides clothes.
I was from Line Up Fashion and we were the fashion designer Jenjum today. Hi Jenjum, how are you?
Hi, I'm very good.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming to my space.
That is so sweet. Although you have a very lovely, pretty space.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me a few things, Jenjum. You come from a village of Arunachal Pradesh. You went into this glimmery fashion world. How has the journey been?
Well, the journey is, you can say it's like one of the Bollywood story,
Okay.
Because I came from a very small village. It's unbelievable. If you see my village, then you'll know how small I came from. When I was growing up, there was nothing. There's no internet, there's no TV, no nothing. I'm like, imagine 50 years ago, and they're in a village somewhere. So, and as I said, I never thought I'll become a designer. School days, I always have an incline towards the fashions, not fashion exactly, towards the creative things, and I was into lots of creative activities, But I never thought that I'll become a designer, As once, there was some discussion in school that somebody said like, to become a designer, you have to be a science student. But then I was already in commerce, so it's kind of broke my heart. If I could recall, it broke my heart. So as I said, I never thought I'll become a designer. But then, I came to Delhi to do my, not study fashion. I was in the DU actually, and I was in DU for a year.
Okay.
So, but then I hated it, And this 1 year, I met a couple of friends from Delhi who were doing fashion student, and suddenly there's so much of ad of fashion college in a newspaper. Then I realized, oh my God, I can be a designer too, So yeah, that was the starting days of my,
Okay, and where did you study design from?
I did it from Wiganley College in Scenic Farm, yes.
All right. So what exactly is the difference in fashion that you see in the Northeast and that you see in the other parts of the world or the country?
See, in the Northeast, the fashion is more about high street fashion. Also, it's not a designer market,
It's not?
It's not a designer market. It's mostly like, because majority of the people, I don't think they really know about like brands, like big brands like international brands, and in fact Indian brands also. For them fashion is this whole high street fashion, like high street brands like Zara, H&M, Nike, all those things. So that way, Northeast people are very fashionable, but it's more like street fashion, more like a street fashion.
Okay.
But here, and also it's not very business oriented. People do fashion because it makes them happy, and people who not, they're very fashionable, so they love fashion. So it's about it. But here in like mainland India, it's not only about that. It's mostly business also. People use fashion as a business things. So, but then by saying that also, there are lots of people from Northeast now, they're coming to India, and even we're good at fashion. So now they start using that talent as their to make a living with,
Okay.
If you see now, look around, there are lots of people are in a fashion, they say from Northeast, like hair and makeup, model, designer, there's lots of them. So.
Okay, nice. So coming from the Northeast, did you face any difficulty while you stepped into the industry? Like, it's an absolutely different world here, and coming here, I really have to mix and fuse and get my thing out over here.
It was. I'll say. I think it's a struggle for I think everybody. It's just not the designer coming from Northeast. I mean, there are lots of people who are coming from other places of the small this thing. But then yes, I mean, being from Northeast, I think I feel the struggle a little bit harder than the other people.
Okay.
Because you have a language barrier, we have a look barrier, you know. Because lots of time when you go for sourcing and when you look around, you know, they don't treat you, they treat you a little differently because, you know, because I still do face it. But
You still face it?
I still do face it. I mean, like, but I'm like, say, better at dealing with that now. I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't really frustrate me anymore. Like
Okay.
in the beginning, like, you know, it's a very small thing. I mean, it's ignorable, but then it keeps happening. It's difficult. Like, suppose I'm going to buy a fabric, they'll charge me more and they'll charge my friend less. You know, those kind of things.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's very irritating, right? I mean, you know, and also it's not only that. It's like it's in every step, like from making, like when you make a garment, there's lots of process involved, right? I mean, it's from from making kaka to buying fabric to getting it dyed to, you know, getting it. So those things they always still does. I do feel that you know what you got to do, prejudice. They try to charge me more, and the other thing they try to less. You know.
Oh my God.
So this, I mean, yeah, this kind of thing. It sounds small, but it's very. I mean, it's very annoying, and sometimes it can really disturb you also actually.
So I've heard from everyone, and you also mentioned fashion is difficult. What's your survival story? The point where you felt, I can't do it, I have to leave it and move on, or start something else. Has there ever been that point in your life?
Yes, it's happened actually. I mean, Sri, you asking me that, but it does happen because fashion is not very easy, and especially when you say, as I say, if you not from Delhi, if you come out from, I mean, other part of the India and living in Delhi, because it's like I mean, there's lots of things. I mean, you have to manage your house, your office. It's just not easy. Sometimes it can be quite difficult because you don't have a family support, you know. It's you on your own. You're on your own. I mean, you have to manage everything. I mean, there's nobody to, you know, rely on. So that way, it's quite frustrating. That's one thing. But also business, in terms of business prospect, also, sometimes it can be really difficult. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, when you started, you have a different kind of imagination, and when you really started, it's different. I mean, making beautiful clothes, it's not enough. To sell them is the toughest part, and then you realize at one point, oh my God, it's not easy. You know, it's frustrating. And it's happened to me once. I mean, 2015, I shut down everything. I mean, I give up my house, give up my factory, everything, and I went back home actually.
You really did?
Yes, I went back home for a year, and because I thought I'm leaving Delhi, you know. But then I was like, I think 99% I was sure I want to leave Delhi, but 1%, I think I was not very sure that I want to leave the Delhi. So I kept my studio locked for a year.
The same place?
Same place.
Wow.
Because I was not very 100% sure. I was 99% sure I was going to leave Delhi, but 1% I was like, no, I want to, you know, see for a year. Yeah. So this 1 year I realized, I mean, I love making clothes. I mean, I love clothes. I don't think I can do anything else besides clothes.
So you came back?
So I came back after a year, and then when I came back, I started doing only menswear because I came back with the idea that if I want to do clothes now, I want to enjoy it. I want to do it on my own terms, you know, terms. And so now for my collections, every clothes I make, I imagine myself first. Will I wear this clothes, you know? And lots of time, I mean, samples. The first sample what I do is I do it for myself and wear it, and I feel it's good, then I make it.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, well, coming back to the question, like, I mean, it is very difficult. It is not that easy. I mean, especially because we come across lots of students who do intern, they want to do intern, because their perspective of the fashion is a bit different. I mean, dating is very glamorous. Dating, like making beautiful clothes is enough. People will come running to you to buy. No, it just doesn't happen like that, you know. You can make a beautiful clothes, but there's lots of layer to it, you know, how you market, how to reach people. I mean, which they don't teach you in a fashion college.
Yes.
I mean, these are the hand-on experience I think you have to learn.
So today, if I ask you, would you be a fashion entrepreneur, which includes the selling part, or are you still a fashion designer, leaving the selling, the marketing part to someone else?
And I'm still the fashion designer, leaving the marketing, selling person to somebody else. But by saying that I'm a small designer and my organization is very small, so everything like I have to involve myself,
Okay.
So I mean, I try to take help from the people, but then everything I think I have to do myself. And also my this organization is not that big that I hire especially somebody for that, So so it's hand-on like still do, but though I am not a business person, entrepreneur person, but still I try to do it. It's difficult, but I try to do it.
So on a scale to 1 to 10, where are you in networking personally?
1 to 10, I think I'll say like 5.
Really?
I think I'm 5 because I'm not. Because with the time I realized I'm not very good at selling it. I don't. I can't I've seen people how good at you go to exhibition, you do the fashion this thing, you see your friends and you see people how good they're selling, and also you experience yourself. When you go for shopping some mall and you know what is a good salesperson is, But I think I'm not a very good salesperson because I can only say much to a person, and after that I just leave it there, I'm like, well, I can't do it anymore.
You want to buy it, you take it.
Yeah, you buy it and take it. I can't do that. But but amazing, there's some people who can really like pursue you to, go and like buy it.
Right.
So like, I'm not that bad, but I'm not that good also.
Okay. That's why a 5.
5, yes.
Okay. So coming from Vignale, you will be friends, and I'm sure you're competing in a market where there are NIF designers, people who come from internationally acclaimed universities. Do you think when you started, or probably even right now, there is a difference between you and them because of education?
No, not really.
No?
In fact, I mean, I had go through the NIFT, but then, as I say, those days I was not very confident. I was not sure that if I'll get through. But I cleared the first round, then I cleared second round. Second round I was not sure. Second round was the final round, but I was not sure because it was very bad. I was a very shy person.
Okay.
There was a group discussion where I didn't say a single word. So I said I'm definitely not clearing it.
Okay.
But then so after that I was very heartbroken. So it was a summer vacation also. I went back home. I went to village, and especially in Arunachal, it's rain a lot. So especially in the rainy season, and like all the roads get blocked. It's impossible to go from one place to another place. So I was in a village. Then suddenly after like 1 month something, I got a message from my sister who was still in Delhi that there's a letter from the NIFT. Actually the calling letter has come that I cleared this thing, come to the office for the final, I think, registration something. But letters come to my rent house in Delhi. But my friend, they didn't open it. There was some important thing. But I think after a week or 2 weeks something to open it, and it was a letter from the NIFT. I've cleared the exam.
Wow.
So they asked me to come, but then my sister tried to send me the message to my village, but it's not getting through, because there's no phone connections, there's nothing. But suddenly I think I got the news after a month something, then it was too late. I think everything was
My
over.
God, so you mean lack of communication?
It was lack of communication, yeah. So, I got it really late. So I came back to Delhi, I think, oh my God, very sad. Then one fine day, my friend called me and said, Jen, there's some interview for the Wigan, you want to go? So, so I went, and that's how I ended up, in Wigan. But then by saying that, the same year, it was like 3 of our friends, me, one friend from Meghalaya, one friend from Nagaland, we all gave the interview together. They tried, and we all got through. And one was in NIF Delhi, one was in NIF Bangalore, and I don't know how we could have get it. But then by saying that, now I'm still here I have my own brand, this thing. But my friends, they have, gone back to Northeast, and they're doing something there,
So they're doing something different there?
I think they're doing something different there because
I
don't see them doing clothes anymore, So that's why why I'm telling you this story is because you ask, is it different? So I don't think there's any different where you have to do it from. I think at the end, it's all zero down to you, how determined you are, how talented you are. It's all about that. Because education-wise, I think it's all college. I think they teach you a little similar kind of education. It's like go to private school or government school. Private school, they give you more facilities. Okay, government school give you less facilities. But still at the end, like a talented student or who are determined, they always, get.
They'll always shine.
Yeah, shine. Yeah. So at least, so it really doesn't matter where you have to do it from. Yeah.
Right. Have you interned under any industry veteran?
Yes, I interned under Satyapol actually.
Wow.
Yeah, Satyapol, but not for the Satyapol brand because Satyapol brand is sold, right? But I work under the real Satyapol.
Wow.
Yeah, he's an amazing person, and I work under him, and I think he run a company called Paul's Salon, and they do clothing, home furniture, but it's mostly export. So I work under him as an intern, this thing.
Oh wow!
So it's really good. So you not only learn about clothes, you learn about lots of other things like home and furniture, and lots of other things. So I think it was interesting.
Having showcased at so many fashion weeks, What do you think is the relevance of fashion weeks in India, and how have you come up through it?
See, I think it's being a fashion designer. I think if you're not a part of fashion body and fashion, I think it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, at least you should be with them and showcase to experience what is feel like to be a fashion designer. You know, fashion is not only selling clothes, right? Fashion designer means you do shows, you interact with buyers, you know, all those things. By saying that, how relevant being a part of this body is, I mean, it was very helpful when you started. I mean those days, 10 years ago, if we talk about fashion bodies, I think it was more stronger and more organized, and in a very simple, there's more business. But now if you look at it, now it's become not exclusive.
Okay.
It's become too inclusive.
Okay, common and
It's become too common.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense of pride anymore to be a part of, to do a fashion show, you know, this thing now, because you can see like there's so many fashion bodies and so many people are doing fashion shows. I don't know why it's happened. I think it has to do lots with economy also, because all this fashion body also need to keep going, right? To survive, they also need to do what is good for them to keep the thing going.
So as a label, how have you benefited out of your fashion weeks?
As a level, I mean, I think whatever I am, I think I would say it's definitely for the fashion weeks, because that's how you started. It's give me a platform to show my talents, meet people, meet media. I think it's because of fashion week only I meet you,
Yes.
So, so still it does lots of wonder for the people, especially for the new generation, new fashion designer. For the older ones, they've already done in this thing. It doesn't make much sense for them, I guess, because they already have their own buyers, medias know. They already did this thing. But for the young ones, I think it's really good because you learn the business, how to do it, and also you experience what this fashion designer meant is, because as I say, fashion is not selling, it's about doing shows and all those things. So I benefited a lot from this all fashion fashion weeks, because as I say, whatever I am today, it's because of the fashion week. I'll always be grateful to the Wills and which give me the platform to show, more than showcase also. I think it's built you as a designer. It's built you as a designer. If there was no fashion body like this, I'll be lost. I mean, especially from Northeast who have no guidance, nothing where. So I become part of fashion body, and they give you guidance. They show you the process, like what does it mean to be a designer. How to make a collection, how to deal with the buyers. Like you learn whole process because of these fashion bodies.
I've interviewed a lot of designers. And there are two things I have learned out of interviewing them. One, you need a very strong team, and it takes a lot of time to build that. So there's a lack in education where they teach you designing is everything. They do not tell you about makeup, styling, selling, and everything. And second, I've learned that it is very important to place yourself properly in the market to get the right buyer. Right? What are your views on this?
See, that's when I say the people from outside, they get really frustrated because everything have to manage themselves.
Yes.
But the people who have family here, they always divide the work. I mean, like, there's lots of my friends, their mothers are involved, their fathers are involved, brothers are involved. So it's become very easy for them, because as I say, fashion is not about only making clothes, right? There's lots of
other parts
involved. So it is very difficult to build that team for you. But then I think my own experience, with experience, I mean,
it takes you a lot of time to build
you learn it. I mean, you learn it, and also with the time you had surrounded with a friend who will become your support system, and also if you're in the fashion industry, you tend to make friends with them. People who are related to fashion. So I have a friend who had a stylist, I have friends who are models, I have friends who are photographers, I have friends who this thing. So but yeah, like you say, it's take time, and you have to build your own what do you call it?
Your own network,
own own team.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to employ them, but in terms of friend, because whenever you need them, they'll ask you ask them for help, they'll give you guidance, all those things.
Okay.
So that's very important. So some people they employ them, but lots of people can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
So that's how important is networking.
Right.
Like when you talk about networking, this is the network. Networking not only to sell clothes, but networking is to build this.
Right. Also, your support system is
all the support. It's it's becoming your support system.
Right.
But it's very important is to identify the people you connected to,
Right.
because there are lots of people, lots of people. So,
Also, when you came back and you placed yourself in the market, you placed yourself as a menswear designer. Why women's wear then?
See, I've started. I started with the notions what everybody has to they have to sell, and women's wear sell.
Okay.
Women's wear sell, and also as a creative person, you have to do lots of things. And in a women's wear, there's lots of scope because in a women's you can do colors and cuts and embroidery, dress. I mean, you can do lots of things in women's wear.
Okay.
I think that's why I started doing women's wear.
Basically, to increase the scope of your creativity.
It's giving you creativity and also like thinking of the business perspective, because people always say like it's women who buy, why women who buy, yeah. But then it's changing now. The men's also buy now. Yeah.
You feel it's changing?
It's changing. Also, a good thing is now the men's have become a little more open about different cuts and different style and different colors. It's
They've become more open about grooming themselves.
more about
also.
grooming themselves, because right now, I mean, I read somewhere a long time an article like how this men's beauty market is like booming. So I think it's a good time to be a menswear designer. Yeah, but still, I mean, you have to find your niche. But then it's like it's relatively easier than before. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Like earlier, probably there wasn't too much of scope of
I know there's
menswear.
not too much of work. I mean, you just do like very plain shoots and shirts and all this. And being a creative person, you don't want to do that. You want to do, play with the colors and this and that. I mean,
Right.
So yeah.
Fashion industry is full of.
Fashion is full of fashionable people.
My love for fashion is.
It's like an oxygen. I live for it. I'm living because of the fashion.
Okay.
I think without the fashion, I don't know who I will be.
So my views on CAA and NRC.
It's just useless. It's just dividing the country. It's just going to waste our taxpayers' money for useless.
I draw my inspiration from
Nature.
a word I use too often when I'm drunk.
I love you.
You do?
I go,
Oh my God.
I'll go and keep entire the audience. Once my sister see brother is drunk, he start saying I love you and start kissing. Like everybody, boys, girls, all young, everybody. It's just like I think I'm too lovable when I'm drunk.